Hey folks, so in my last video I showed all of my favorite edible herbs, weeds in the garden that I like to use for survival during this pandemic crisis that we're all going through. And so this time I wanted to show some of the other edible weeds that can be found in the southeastern United States. They're edible, but they're not necessarily my favorite, so that's why I haven't really pointed them out until now. But anyways, I just want to say I hope everybody stays safe out there, and welcome to my organic gardens here in Northeast Louisiana. My name is John Gay, by the way. You can find me Inventor John Gay. It's all one word on Patreon. So if you like these type of videos, please click like and subscribe. And or if you just like the video, you know, click like. That would help too. But do please subscribe. And click the bell for notifications if you like these type of videos, so that way you'll be alerted next time I make a video. So anyhow, let's walk out here a little bit towards the road. Hopefully there's no traffic. Everybody's supposed to be staying home as best as they can, because this is a very contagious bug that's out there, and we don't know enough about it to really do much more than tell people to stay home, you know. So anyhow, so I showed all these greens out here. Let's see, and I didn't show this one. This is called curly dock. And see how it gets the wavy edges, and this will get really large. You see this in the ditches all around Northeast Louisiana and probably most of the whole United States actually. Dock is a very common weed. And but I just don't like it. It's kind of strong flavored, and I've cooked it with spices and everything else. It kind of it seems to not sit well on my stomach either. I just don't like the taste of it. It's kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of funky, sort of bitter. Like I said, it's edible. It didn't seem to hurt me or make me sick or anything, but curly dock is one of the edible weeds that's really common, but I just don't really like it enough. So now here's another edible weed, and the common name of this is henbit, and you might find this in your yard too. It gets these little purple flowers. The stem is square. This is a relative of the mint family. It's in the mint family, and it does taste a lot like, sort of has a minty flavor. So a few leaves of this, it has little hairs on there, it will really hold the salad dressing well, you know. So this is good, just a few little leaves of this in a salad, you know. Same thing with the dock too. Hey, it might have some good vitamins in there. Just a few leaves in a salad, you know, treat it like arugula or other strong flavored greens. This one's actually fairly strong flavored compared to the cleavers or the mulberry leaves, or the pokeweed is really the best herb we have around here, I think. That one in the cleavers, the Velcro weed I was talking about in my last video. So anyhow, this is known as henbit, and again, I don't remember all the scientific names. It's been really a long time since I studied the botany and everything. I was really into the botany and knowing all the Latin names, but Latin's a dead language. We're going to have a new global language, and it's going to be English. Sorry, everybody. The United States is putting English out there everywhere. You know, hooray for Mother Britain, right? So, God bless the Queen. Hope she stays safe out there. So again, here's the cleavers with the little prickly cockleburrs that will stick to your pants leg, you know. That was my favorite one. This is a cultivated form of wild blueberry, but I do have a lot of, blackberry, but I do have a lot of the wild native blackberry around this part of the world. So I wanted to show this here. A lot of people worry, hey, it's got poison ivy all over you. Man, what is that? You got poison ivy all over your yard. Well, this is not poison ivy. Oh man, I'm trying to think of the name of this now. That's called Virginia creeper. Yeah, that's what this, common name of this is Virginia creeper. Again, the scientific name eludes me. But leaves of 5, there's an old saying that you can go by. Leaves of 5, you'll stay alive. Leaves of 3, leave it be. So we'll find some actual poison ivy at some point and show you that. I think there's some in the back. And so we already looked at all these weeds in here. Now this is worth pointing out. This is a dandelion look-alike. This is not actual dandelion. It's very similar, the leaves are very similar, but the blossoms are very tiny. It has these tiny little yellow flowers. Dandelion makes a much bigger, it's about the size of a quarter or even up to a $50 size. About that big around, the blooms on the dandelion. The dandelion is edible, and again, it's a little bit strong flavored, so I don't eat much of it. I'll put a leaf or two in a salad. However, the dandelion, here's some dandelion right here. I'll let this grow, and I'll let a few of these go and seed. It will spread very rapidly, so only leave 1 or 2 plants at a time. Coming up and making seed, because this is supposedly an excellent cure for cancer. It helps to stop many types of cancer. I don't know if this is because it alkalizes the body, or because it's a diuretic, or maybe it has some chemical in it that inhibits the proteins that signal the cancer cells to continue reproducing. There was a guy that supposedly cured cancer. This Russian dude lived in Texas, and the FDA and the government just totally shut him down because he was curing people. Like 99% of the people that took his drug were cured of their cancers, various types of cancers. There's some sort of, it's called like protease inhibitor or something like that. But anyhow, it was this special sort of antigen or protein that he learned how to mass produce fairly easily, and he was giving it to people. He wasn't selling it, he was just giving it to people, and he applied for a patent. Well, they wouldn't give him a patent. They stole it from him, and they actually patented it for the United States government. So, like, how does the government patent a cure for cancer and they withhold it from the people? That's not right. That's just totally wrong. They could be curing people, so, and, if you're going to, don't force me to pay insurance or anything, and don't force me to ever use a doctor, because the doctors are not living up to they're not curing, they're not curing anything. They're only treating your symptoms. So don't go to the hospital, just don't even go. Don't bother to get tested either, is my advice, because they can't do anything. They can't actually cure you. This one got out of the bag before they had the antidote for it, So this COVID-19. So, but I don't think this would actually help with anything except your immunity, but it may help fight cancer, supposedly. So anyhow, I do eat these dandelions a little bit in a salad here and there, or I'll just eat them raw when I'm sick. The blossoms too make an interesting flavored tea. So you might try dandelion tea just for the health benefits. And but it's not really I wouldn't say this is a good survival food. This is a medicinal herb, just like the prickly lettuce is a medicinal herb. Here's another one. These wild, sort of wild clovers. These are all edible, pretty much. But again, they have a high content of oxalic acid, especially the larger ones. That again, these are shamrocks. Again, the scientific name eludes me. But this is sort of an invasive. The larger shamrocks with the pink flowers is really actually very invasive. And I recommend that you don't ever buy the shamrocks with the pink flowers, because they will take over your whole yard. It looks pretty, but they'll take over your gardens too, and it's a very difficult weed to remove from your areas where you're trying to grow food. It'll grow in the shade, grow in the sunlight, and it just really takes over. It seeds itself and it spreads underground. Again, here's some of it, the shamrocks. I've got them everywhere. Lucky clover, and they're really tasty. They have a sour flavor from the oxalic acid, but really not a good survival food, and not even really a medicinal food. I really just would recommend people just don't grow it. Don't grow the shamrocks, and get them out of your yard if you got them there. I'm trying to get rid of them myself. But the Virginia creeper, I don't worry about this Virginia creeper. I let it grow in here. It's totally harmless. And this is my oregano. This is a cultivated variety. It's a type of I don't know if it's Greek oregano or just a standard oregano, but this is the best one for pizza, so I just call it Pizza Queen is the name I've come up with this, because this one is so good. You just take some of this and some of the green onion that I've got growing around here, and tomato sauce, or fresh tomatoes is even better. Cook it down, a little bit of olive oil, and salt and pepper, and boom. Add some fennel seed. fennel bulb, and you'll have a really good pizza sauce. So yeah, this is the official oregano officinalis, I think is the name, the Latin name of the Greek oregano. And let's see, oh, I was going to show the poison ivy back here. So we already took this route in another video. And my giant tree and my loquat tree here. Let's see. Gonna keep identifying some of these weeds that, let's see. Got a mess back here. So, whoa, I almost fell down. Hey, got a live blooper on camera. Sunsaver almost busted his ass. Ha 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 ha. So out here we have lots of the poison ivy. Leaves of 3, leave it be. See, it has 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And again, these will have like a mitten shape, sometimes with just 1 or 2 or 3 points. Here you sort of have 3 points. Here there's just a couple little points on either side. This one, the leaf just looks oval. Now me, I can touch it. I'm not really allergic to poison ivy. It doesn't bother me, so I'm not worried about touching it. But some people are highly allergic to poison ivy. They'll break out in rashes. So this is the one you want to avoid. Leaves of 3, leave it be. Leaves of 5, you'll stay alive. That's an easy little mnemonic to help remember which ones are edible. But again, this one, the cleavers, is starting to make the little cockle burrs. Hey, I highly recommend. This is so tasty. It's very mild. You can use it in place of lettuce. You can use it in place of spinach. Makes a delicious edible green. So I got my compost pile. This is where I compost my human manure, they call it. This is where I compost my composting toilet and my food scraps and things that what the cats don't eat. The cats are like little hogs that just pretty much eat up everything. The greenbrier we showed in another video, very, very tasty. So we got these wild oaks out here. This is the post oak. Some people call them pin oak, but they're not really the pin oak. This is the post oak. Very common around here. They like sort of wet soil, and they grow very tall and straight, so they're really good for posts. And I think that's why they were originally called post oaks. Now this is a red oak, I believe, right here, a type of red oak. There's several different types of red oaks and several different types of white oaks. So the names get confusing and it sort of gets hard to identify some of them. Again, this is another one of these really large leaf. This may be what they call a burl oak, which gets these really big leaves. They're sort of pretty too and sort of ornate. Now I think there's a pin oak around here somewhere, a true pin oak. Let's see. Oh, let's see. I think it's down, kind of down in here somewhere. This is another one of those like burl oaks, I think is called, type of red oak. But I think right down through here somewhere was a true pin oak. Ah, here we go. So here's the pin oak. And the leaves look a little different, and it gets these little pins on the ends of the leaves. You can't, I don't know if you can see, get focused, a little pin there, a little pin there, a little pin there. And the leaves are more, a little bit more uniform. They're sort of like a big club foot. It looks sort of like a duck foot shape, big duck foot shape. So this is the actual pin oak. People are misidentifying the post oaks that are really common in Louisiana. Here's a post oak. And the post oaks also look similar to live oaks, but the live oaks will stay evergreen in the southeastern United States. And the live oaks are the ones you see around the old plantation homes in Louisiana. And they do have little pins on the end of their leaves too. So here's the live oak. And it'll sort of look like holly sometimes when it's really young. You're like, hey, is that a baby holly tree or is that a live oak? And you see it has like a little pin on the end there and there. But for the most part, the leaves are just sort of rounded, but it's a sort of evergreen. It's a little slower growing, not as tall, not as straight. tends to branch a whole lot more than the other types of oaks. But the acorns are edible, and the Native Americans used to, there's a few types of oaks that make really large acorns, and the Native Americans used to have a method for sort of making a flour and bleaching it out. They ground up the acorns and put them into a stream of water and let the water flush out all the tannic acid. The tannic acid is what gives it the brown color and that bitterness and sort of rough flavor on the mouth. But I guess that's about it for this video. Monkey Girl's come to visit. Hi, Monkey. Say hi to the camera. Good girl. She's so smart. She really understands English compared to most cats. I think she's really well behaved. Been a very easy cat to train. Super smart. Get in your chair, Monkey. Get in your chair. Get in your chair, Monkey. She loves that chair. That's your chair now, huh, Monkey? You ain't gonna let me sit in it anymore, are you? That's alright. I'll sit on the hard chair. I'll sit on the hard chair and you can stay there. Little cutie. She's my sweet baby. She's been keeping me company during this social isolation and this pandemic disaster. And really kind of made life worth living, because I do get very, very lonely here, and I really miss my family. I wish I did have a family. I wish I had focused more on that instead of just trying to pay off all this land here. Was all I was really worried about. I should have paid more attention to the people in my life, and maybe I would have somebody here today if I had done things differently. So, but no time for regrets. Just got to move, let go of the past, and keep moving into the future. We have at least another couple weeks. They say it's going to be about the worst time ever to be an American. So hopefully I won't have too many of the people I love and care about die from this disaster. Anyways, please click like and subscribe, and look for me, Inventor John Gay, on Patreon. And any donations you can send me would really help. I do need to get some more cat food for this baby, and there's some other cats running around here too. Sort of Sunsaver's little cat sanctuary down here. Alright guys and gals, thanks for watching.